We've got this! Keep it up, partner!
Alright, guys, we're in.
Oh, finally. Getting through this fella's two-factor bowl took forever.
Are you sure this ChaosControl VA guy won't mind us hacking his YouTube channel like this? Man, the languages in this era are so weird.
Again, we're not hacking. We're borrowing. Besides, we'll be done before he even notices.
Are you sure, Specs? This is just starting to remind me of that one time I stole the warp topaz from you, and how me and Ginger accidentally got sent to another dimension with it.
Berri, you do remember that I forgave you for that, right?
Yeah, but still, this feels just as bad right now.
Again, don't worry. I'm sure this channel's owner will understand if he finds out. He seems like a chill guy.
Well, if you say so.
Hey guys, what does this flashing red dot mean?
Huh? Oh, geez, we're rolling.
Oh, jeepers, did folks really hear me say all that? Oh, geez, Ginger's never gonna let me live this down.
Does this mean we have to start the Q&A now?
Well, I guess we can start it now. Berri, what do you think?
I mean, yeah, sure. I'll try and move on from that little mishap.
If you ask me, I say it's now or never. I'm getting tired of waiting on you guys.
Alright then, cool your jets. Anyway, hello everyone. Welcome to the Team Spectrum Q&A.
Howdy, y'all.
Hey there, ladies and gents. Especially the ladies.
Let's quickly introduce ourselves then. I'm Team Spectrum's leader, Spectrum the Hedgehog. Huh. Saying that out loud makes it all sound very egotistical on my part.
Well, this here's Berri the Rabbit speaking. I'm basically the muscle of our little roadshow here.
What do you mean? I'm the power type here.
Yeah, but I'm the one who does all of the hand-to-hand mumbo-jumbo.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
Anyway, not only am I our muscle, I'm also best friends with this guy.
Hey, cut it out! Not in front of so many people, please.
Aw, no need to get all embarrassed now, bud. I heard he took care of that for you.
And I'm Tumult. Long story short, I'm the handsome one, and that's all you need to know about me. What? Did I say something wrong?
Come on, that's not all there is to you, Tumult.
And besides, doesn't Spectrum here outdo you in the handsome category? I mean, he's hit it off with more women than either of us have, after all.
Again, why are you guys embarrassing me in front of all these people?
Oh, please. They were only in a Spectrum here because they took pity on him. When we're put back to back, you'll find that I'm the one that actually has charisma.
More like childishness.
Anyway, we have a bunch of questions that you guys submitted to us that we're finally gonna answer here.
By the way, thank y'all so much for sending us these. Y'all were really thoughtful with what you asked us.
Of course, we couldn't answer every single question, so if yours doesn't show up, then better luck next time.
Right. With all that out of the way, are you guys ready?
You bet, Specs.
Totally!
Alright then, let the Q&A begin!
Yeehaw!
Oh yeah!
Yahoo!
Hey, Specs, this first question's for you.
Really? Okay, then let me see here.
Heh, lucky.
Okay. Aidannn says, to Spectrum, so where did you get that warp topaz anyways, and its power source? The last wielder was Starline, who died, and his warp topaz tech was destroyed.
Ah, they must be referring to the time we stole away from the Order of Genesis. I remember like it was yesterday. Ooh, that was exciting.
And then it got lost in the multiverse almost immediately afterwards. Apparently, unlike you, Berri, I don't like to remember that whole debacle.
Yeah, while we did meet some cool new faces and visit some cool new worlds, it was still a pain to get through.
Yeah, I ain't denying that.
There's one thing about this question that I'm confused on, though. Who is this Starline?
Starline, huh? Doesn't ring any bells for me.
Yeah, I don't think this star line has anything to do with the warp topaz in our world, let alone exists in our world. Like you said, Berri, we just intercepted the Order of Genesis when they found the topaz, trying to steal it for themselves. I especially don't think it's powered by anything either.
Yeah, I always assumed it was an invulnerable gem, like the Phantom Ruby.
Don't remind me of that thing.
Well, wait a minute. We've mentioned the Order of Genesis a lot just now. Maybe we should give the audience a rundown so they're not as confused down the line.
Yeah, maybe so. Well, ladies and gentlemen, the Order of Genesis is a cult full of criminals. They worship some sort of deity that has given each of the group's members a special ability, along with unnaturally long lives, so that they can accomplish his goals. Tumult here was actually created by this guy.
Before betraying me and my siblings, that is, he locked us away within the Chaos Emeralds, only for me to be accidentally reawakened by you guys eons later.
They've been a pain in our tushes for a while now, trying to conquer the whole dang multiverse and prepare the way for this guy while we've been trying to stop him.
So far with no progress, especially now that the Eggman Empire is working with them. But we won't stop trying to take them down regardless. So now with the Order's introduction out of the way, to summarize our original answer, we found the warp topaz by itself when they were trying to steal it, and we don't know of any starline in our world. We hope that answers your question, Aidannn.
Ugh, I'm totally gonna have to steal this joke from you now, Specs. FunicFinster asks, how do you guys do, synergy with each other?
Synergy? What does he mean by that?
Is that meant to be some sort of energy-based move?
Beats me, boys. Perhaps a good old goggle search won't hurt.
Ah, that search engine Tails recently invented.
Yeah, that one doesn't censor anything.
Wait, other search engines do that?
Alright, let me just fire it up here. Okay, let me see. The interaction or cooperation of two or more organizations, substances, or other agents to produce the combined effect greater than the sum of their separate effects.
Oh, so is this guy asking about how we work as a team?
Maybe so. Well then, to answer that, we try to be on the same page about pretty much every objective we have, and we just have a mutual respect for one another. Some of us more so than others, of course.
Yeah, again, best friends since childhood over here.
Yep. But long story short, there's not much to how we get our synergy. We've just been in tune with each other ever since our group formed, so I guess we didn't really think about it until now.
That's probably because it was during the war. We didn't really have any room for squabbles or any other mishap.
True. But yeah, I think that answers your question, Funix. Thanks for asking.
Wait, guys. We seriously need to talk about this censorship thing. Does this mean that everything I've been searching on the internet is a lie? What is truth anymore? What am I doing?
Oh, this next one's for you, Tumult.
Really? Let me see. HydrocityShark asks, @Tumult. Glad to know people know how to spell my name. Are there other Chaos Emerald Guardians? Under what circumstances do the Guardians actually defend the Emeralds?
Oh geez, that sounds very complicated.
Not really, actually. To answer your question, HydrocityShark, there are indeed more Chaos Emerald Guardians like me. There are actually 7 of us to be exact, but that part was probably obvious already. However, I don't know how many of my brothers and sisters are still alive and kicking nowadays, as I'm unfortunately the only one to have been freed from my emeralds so far. Well, as far as we know, that is. Also, since we don't have the same level of omnipresence our creator does, there's only just the 7 of us across the entire multiverse, with no alternate variant of us anywhere else. Now, about our defense of the Chaos Emeralds, know that we were created alongside them not only to watch over and protect them against more spiritual forces, but also to be their more official users and to draw upon their powers when it came to battles. But of course, since we're not as divine as our creator, we weren't perfect when it came to those jobs, In fact, even before we were sealed within the emeralds, we had a very rudimentary understanding of the powers that they could give us. Now, of course, there are other reasons as to why we were created, but those are the reasons when it comes to the Chaos Emeralds. What?
How is that not complicated?
It's probably just because there's so much information, but still, how do you remember all of that stuff?
Heh. I guess it's either because I'm sort of a divine being with cognitive abilities beyond that of any mortal, or it's just easier to remember something when it heavily involves you.
Oh, I guess that makes sense.
Really? I still don't get it.
Well, I guess there'll just be some people who can't understand.
Yeah, I guess so.
Anyways, thanks for the question, HydrocityShark. I hope my answer was easy for you to follow.
Levin Sonic Fan 88 miles per hour asks, to everyone, what type of music do y'all listen to? Ooh, that's an interesting one. For me personally, I really like to listen to anime-style rock.
Interesting choice, Specs. For me, I like to listen to country. I was raised on a ranch with my family, so that genre naturally makes me think of home. But I also like to listen to electro and pop too.
Huh, I didn't realize you listened to more than just country music.
What are you implying? I ain't insane or anything, if that's what you're suggesting.
All right, then. Tumult, what about you?
Oh, well, I don't really have a favorite. I like all kinds of music. The people of this multiverse are so creative whenever it comes to their music, and I can't get enough of all of it.
Huh, I can respect that.
Yeah, same here. As long as you don't like Taylor Swift, of course.
Oh yeah, I'm totally not interested in that.
Yeah, her music is starting to get grainy on my ears.
Glad to see we're all on the same page there. Anyways, thanks for the question, Levin. Please don't come after me, Swifties.
ReaperAU says, question for Spectrum. Have you ever encountered or heard of Sonic EXE or its many different interpretations over the years?
What's, Sonic EXE?
I've never heard of that term before in all my life.
Wait, does this guy mean EXE as in the file type?
A file? As in the thing you use in a computer, as you call it?
A computer, huh? Oh, do y'all think he's referring to that guy we fought in cyberspace?
Maybe, but he's not really related to Sonic at all.
Well, it may be the best answer we can give this guy.
You have a point. Well then, ReaperAU, I guess what could come close to what you're describing is Agony. Agony's a glitchy version of me from a computer-like dimension called cyberspace. Me and my co-hosts here have only come up against him once, and he's been dead ever since then.
And needless to say, we're all the happier that he's not coming back.
Ditto.
Yeah. But other than Agony, we don't know any such Sonic EXE. Sorry about that, ReaperAU, but thanks for the question anyway.
Hey, we have another question from that Aidannn guy again. Whew.
Wait a second, who gave you the right to say his name like that? That was my thing.
Well, too bad. It's now my thing, Specs. I gave myself the right.
Man, women in this era are so strange.
Anyway, he says to just about everyone, which member of the Order of Genesis is your least favorite?
Heh, I already have one in mind.
Well, wait, he asked all of us.
So then, you guys just want to take turns?
I guess so. Tumult, since you already have someone in mind, why don't you go first?
Oh, no thanks. I'll go at the end.
All right, then. I guess I can go first instead. Well, off the top of my head, I can think of one guy within the Order I'm not a fan of at all. Romulus. He's as ancient as he is cunning. He is the leader of the Order, after all. He's an old plant guy that is loyal to his evil mission, wanting to conquer the entire multiverse.
Wow. That almost sounded like poetry.
Oh, well, thank you.
Well, as for me, I'm gonna have to go with Lamia the Constrictor. That slithery witch has caused nothing but trouble for me and Ginger, 'cause she hates the two of us trying to allow kids to just be, well, kids. Besides that, though, she has slimy, scaly skin, a horrible fashion sense, and captivating eye.
Nope, nuh-uh. We are not doing that again.
Huh? Specs, what are you doing?
Berri, listen, you've encountered Lamia way too many times. It's gotten to the point where you can now become entranced just by thinking about her, even when she's not getting in your face to mind control you. I'm so tired of it, and I'm not letting that happen again, especially now that there's a bunch of people watching us.
Really? I don't remember doing that before.
Of course you don't. Look, just trust me, okay? I'm saving you from a lot of future embarrassment. Now, Tumult, you're the last one up. Who's your least favorite Order member?
Oh. Well, as for me, my least favorite is the true head honcho himself, the beginning. Not only was he the creator of the universe, but he was also the creator of me. And like a true son to his father, I loved him. But then he decided to betray me out of nowhere, locking me up in my emerald for what felt like an eternity. Since then, he's allowed chaos to run free, even allowing the very cult we talk about to do such vile things in his name.
Wow. Tumult, you didn't have to say all of that in front of everyone.
Yeah, you didn't need to get all personal if you didn't want to.
No, it's all right. After all, the more people know about how dangerous the beginning is, the better.
Oh. Well then, if you say so. Anyway, that's our collective answer. Thanks again, Aidannn.
This next one comes from Johan Azituru 4135. Wow, what a name. They say, while addressing all of us, do you guys have your own weakness or phobia? How do you guys handle it? And what is your purpose to become a hero that's saving the world? Ma'am, that last question is confusing.
Does anyone want to go first on the weaknesses and fears part?
I guess I can go first.
Sure, go ahead.
Well, I guess my greatest fear relates back to my creator. I guess I'm afraid that he really wasn't who he said he was, and that him sealing me and my siblings away in the emeralds was a sign that everything he taught me meant nothing.
Oh dear, that's horrible.
The way I deal with that, though, is by just simply looking around. Everywhere I look, I see nature in action, fully operating by the rules it was created with to a T. A beautiful display with no contradictions. The world around me is the perfect reminder that while my creator may not be what he seems, that doesn't mean that what he said before isn't true. Or, at least, that's what I figure.
Wow, that was beautiful, Tumult.
Very beautiful.
Yeah, I guess it is.
Well, I guess I can go now. I guess my fear involves my niece, Cream. During the war, she was captured by Eggman and put into his robotomy program. He turned her into a robotic menace that was bent on our destruction. Thankfully, though, she was saved, thanks to the efforts of me and my friends here, as a matter of fact. But ever since then, I've seen how other children have been taken advantage of everywhere, just like how my niece was taken advantage of by Eggman. I mean, sure, it's not the exact same as it was with Cream, but the similarities are still eerie. So yeah, I guess my fear is seeing Cream's experiences be reflected in others just like her.
I've never heard you explain it like that before.
Yeah, it's still rough for me.
How do you deal with it then?
By reminding myself of how we saved Cream. Every time I see children be taken advantage of for the gain of others, I remember that saving them is possible. Just like how we saved my niece. Remembering that pushes me to keep fighting day after day for their dignity, to just be left alone. No matter what anybody says, at least I know I made an impact by simply trying.
I've never thought about your little crusade like that before either.
No one else does, really. But that hasn't stopped me yet.
I know. Well then, I guess I'm the only one left. My fear is...
Specs, are you okay?
Yeah, this is just, a bit difficult for me to talk about.
Are you thinking about Infinite?
Yep.
You don't have to talk about it if you don't.
No, I have to do this. My greatest fear is going back to being a coward again. During the war, I wasn't brave. Far from it. I only thought about my own safety, and there were even those who took advantage of that. Even those I looked up to didn't take me seriously because of this. At some point, I was no doubt gonna get myself killed or worse. But then I found people that believed I could be better, and that inspired everyone else to do the same.
I'm sure you're referring to Sonic and his friends, right?
Yeah, but there are others.
Oh, and who are they?
You really don't know, Tumult?
What do you mean, Specs?
I also had you guys, my friends. You guys are how I deal with my fears because you remind me of how much I've changed, and you keep me determined to remain that way.
Oh, thank you, Specs.
Yeah, you've helped us through our problems, so it's only natural that we do the same for you.
Thank you, guys. That means the world to me.
Wait! We still haven't answered the last part of this guy's question.
Oh, right. What does he even mean by that last part?
I think he's trying to ask what our purpose is for becoming heroes and saving the world.
Ah, interesting. Well then, I guess the answer is just the same as anyone else's answer should be. We're tired of seeing the world the way it is, and we hope to make a real difference in it.
You got that right.
True that, bud.
Yeah. Well, with all that said, thanks for sending us that question. We hope that textbook-length answer of ours was good enough for you. I believe this next one from Chow95 is addressed to all of us at once, too.
Oh, how exciting.
He asks, how strong is your friend Hip in your team? And what's the best thing you, as a team, have lived, like an adventure or a trip? Something like that.
I would say that our friendship is pretty strong. I know my friendship with Specs here is definitely strong.
Absolutely.
I mean, I'm trying my best to be a good friend to you guys, but I'm not entirely sure I'm on the same level of friendship that you two are at.
Aw, don't worry, bud. We consider you to be a good friend, too.
Yeah. As for the best thing we lived part, I'm not entirely sure which of our adventures is the best. There are so many choices after all. You know what? I don't think any of that stuff will compare to what possibly happens in the future.
Ah, you might have a point there.
I agree. The best is yet to come.
Indeed. Anyway, thanks for the question, Chow95. Ooh, it looks like we got a 3-in-1 question from a Kannatherage.
Kinda. Why does that sound so familiar?
And each question is for each of us. You guys want to take turns?
Absolutely. Let me see.
Oh, okay.
To Tumult. Where did you come from? Well, I actually don't know. Like, I came from something, and yet nothing at the same time. I guess the only way I can really explain it is that the beginning has a habit of creating things out of nothing.
Wow. That was...
Deep. That was deep.
Yeah, that was.
Oh, come on. It's not that big of a deal.
Anyway, here's my question. To Spectrum, how did you get so many women in your life? I knew this was gonna come back to haunt me today.
You know what, Specs? I've been wondering the same thing myself. How do you get so many girlfriends?
Yeah, how did you get so many women at your beck and call, and not me?
It's not like that, guys. Amy and Sally were just one-time flings born out of pity, just like Tumult said before.
Oh, Spectrum, you don't mean that.
I do, actually. Or at least, that's what I think it all was anyway. Although, what I have now in my girlfriend Whisper feels very special. I guess that's just because we can relate to each other's pasts so well.
Aww.
Huh. I never really thought about you two in that way.
Anyways, Berri, this last question's for you.
Oh, really? Let me see. To Berri, do you remember some of the people you met across the multiverse? Well, I guess I do. There are the Freedom Fighters, those weird versions of Sonic and his friends with the sports tape, and these two kids called Millie and Charlotte. Me and Ginger got to visit them in their universe on our own once, and we think they're just the cutest pair alive. Seriously, we think you guys watching at home would like them a lot.
Yeah, I miss each and every one of those guys. Well, except for Millie and Charlotte, I've never actually met them. We need to go on another trip around the multiverse sometime just to see them all again.
Totally. There's so much more to discover for me personally.
Well, anyways, thank you for the questions, Kannatherage.
Oh, and Kana, say hi to Millie and Shaw for me. Sorry. It just seems like you might know them.
Hey guys, it looks like we got another question from that Johanneside 2435 guy.
Yeah, and it looks like this one's addressed to you this time, Specs.
Really? Let me see. This time he says, to Spectrum, do you ever feel empty in yourself, like you want to do something better that makes you worthy enough to be something greater to the world, a symbol to the people you care about, and a good leader to your team? Question mark, question mark, question mark.
Man, this guy's all about tugging at our heartstrings, huh?
Yeah, it's now starting to feel like he's some sort of a therapist or something like that.
To answer your question, sir, yeah, I do feel like I need to do better every day. I mentioned this a little bit while answering your last question, but after the war, I never wanted to go back to the way I was before I met Sonic. Sonic showed me the kind of person that I could become if I actually put the work in, the hero I could be if I just tried. But of course, sometimes it feels like that's not enough, even after my many adventures. And when I feel like that, I think about how my past mistakes always keep the hole inside of me that's meant to be filled. Empty.
Oh, Specs, you've proven time and time again that you're a worthy hero. There's no need to keep doubting yourself.
Any thought that suggests otherwise isn't your own. They're lies. And the fact that they're in your head at all proves that you've actually succeeded. And you've maybe even done more beyond that.
You guys really think I'm a worthy hero?
At this point, you're beyond worthy, bud.
Thank you, guys. That means the world to me. Or the multiverse, actually.
Well, thank you for this new question of yours, Johan is it 2Ru4135. Now, if you excuse him, I think Specs here deserves a break.
What? No, I'm fine. Really, I just need a short break.
Nah, I won't hear it. Don't worry, folks. I'm sure you'll see him again after this next question. Alrighty, this next question comes from Sonic Galaxy 27. He says, tell me, Team Spectrum, who came up with the team name? When was this group formed?
Oh, shouldn't we wait for Spectrum to answer this question?
Oh, I'm sure it's fine. We can answer this without him. He won't mind.
Alright then, if you say so.
Now, to answer your question, our group was formed near the end of the war, right before we raided Metropolis again.
We were planning to finally rescue Berri's niece, Cream, from being a lobotomized soldier for Eggman, and we figured that it would go better if we were on a more unified front, as you guys called it. We basically wanted to ensure that Cream didn't get the upper hand on all of us again, as she had been doing so at many different points before.
So that's where we decided to be a team for the first time. And we...
Auntie Berri, what are you doing?
Oh, hey, little love bug. What are you doing here?
Are you talking about the time I got turned into a robot?
Yeah, we were. But only because people wanted to know about it.
We're sorry if you're upset about that.
Oh no, not at all. I don't mind people hearing about that.
Really?
Does that mean you're also talking about how you guys became a team?
Why, yes, Flower Bud. We were actually just about to show how we came up with our name.
Ooh, can I tell them that part, Aunt Berri? Please?
Aw. All right, then. Why not?
Wait, Cream knows about that?
Well, yeah. I tell her the story of a rescue all the time.
Oh. Huh.
Well, then, go ahead, little duckling. Just speak right into the mic here.
Well, Berri told me that Mr. Spectrum didn't want a name for his team, but his friends and my aunt were so proud of him for fighting Eggman with Mr. Sonic that they wanted to name it after him. Mr. Spectrum wasn't sure about that and didn't want to seem selfish, but his friends and my aunt didn't mind.
Aww, so cute.
That was the cutest retelling of our story I've ever heard.
You did great, my little muffin. Your mom would be so proud of you.
Thank you, Aunt Berri and Mr. Tumult.
Speaking of your mom, I should get you back to her. Tumult, you wouldn't mind holding down the fort for the next question or so, right?
Oh, sure. I can do that.
Thanks, Tummy. And thank you for the question, Sonic Galaxy 27. All right, now, let's go find your mom.
Well, Spectrum and Berri are still not back, so I guess I'll have to answer these next few questions by myself after all. Let me see. This next one comes from, Stargazer Studios. Sounds like a cool guy. Anyways, his question is thankfully addressed to just me. And he asks, what is your favorite scary movie? Ooh, I've never really had to think about this before. I guess I would have 3 favorites. The Conjuring series, the Paranormal Activity series, and the Friday the 13th series. The Conjuring is up there for me, as you people put it nowadays, because they're apparently stories that have actually happened. And the Paranormal Activity movies look like they could happen. And that's not just because of the filing style. Take it from a divine spirit being like me, the supernatural is real. And the demonic parts of that are especially real too. The scenarios in those kinds of movies happen very frequently, even nowadays as I've come to find. And even if it all looks exaggerated, it just scares me how disturbing my kind has become with their treatment of you mortals. Anyways, I also really like the Friday the 13th movies, not just because of their go-fi-ness, but also because some of their victim couples, specifically the rare couples, are good at being, well, couples. In fact, I've actually learned a lot about this era's love lingo from the actual good couples in these movies. My favorite Friday the 13th couple has to be Mark and Vicky from Part 2, hands down. They just come off as very cute, and I think it's such a shame that they didn't make it to the final boy or girl spots. So yeah, those are my favorite scary movies. Thanks for the question, Stargazer. I hope you go far, dude. Where is everyone? Hang tight, guys. I'm gonna go find my friends real quick.
Tumult? Tumult? Oh, where'd he go? He must have gotten fussy, but I wasn't gone for that long, was I? Well, he'll be back. In the meantime, I can always answer some questions on my lonesome. So then, let me see here. Oh, here's a question addressed to me from one BellaSwella. Thank you so much, sweetheart. So, BellaSwella asks, how was your childhood with Vanilla like? Huh? Interesting use of word like at the end there. But yeah, I would say my childhood with Vanny was great. Oh, Vanny's my little nickname for her, by the way. She was way older than me, and she would almost always tease me for it, even now that she's all grown up. But she never meant anything by it. It was all just for fun. Oh, like I mentioned before, we grew up on this ranch that our pa owned, and Vanny would do most of the chores around the joint while I got to play. When we got to play together, though, I couldn't think of having anything better. We would roll around in the prairie grass, dress up our animals, and even do our own hair. At some point, though, Vanny would move out and I would have to do the chores myself, while also being trained to fight like my pa. Nowadays, though, we try to visit each other. And aside from some disagreements in how we each live our own lives and all, I think we still love each other like we did back in the day. I just hope I can give that sweet little daughter of hers that same kind of love, too. So yeah, that's how my childhood with my big sis was. Thanks for the question, BellaSwella. I'm sure you'll do great at whatever you do next. Actually, you know what? I don't feel good about at least not looking for my pals right about now. I'll be right back, folks. Just gonna make sure everyone's okay. Now, where did Tumult even go?
Attention, viewers. Do not close this video. This broadcast is under the control of the Order of Genesis.
Oh, please, old-timer, enough with the theatrics. You're putting me to sleep, and that's supposed to be my deal.
Watch your tone, you slithering Miss Vinu. Let our leader address his future slaves as he wishes.
Oh, come on, Shinbi, cut me some slack. Especially since I'm somehow calling you guys from a GUN super prison.
Don't you dare demean me, you disrespectful Resuvian!
Children! It would do you both well not to bicker as such when we are on missions of great importance.
Great importance? Please. We're just hacking these losers while they hack somebody else.
As much as I dislike and disagree with this Mashio, she's right. It feels cowardly to do this when they are no longer around.
Aww, is the confused little man growing a conscience?
Silence, fools! If you two are done with your incessant whining, we can get back to what we came here for.
Of course, sir.
As you wish, Master.
Listen well, viewers. For too long, Team Spectrum and their allies have kept wool covered over your eyes. They have been dishonest, labeling us as a cult of terrorists when we only wish to bring order to a chaotic multiverse instead.
I see what you did there.
So in the name of our great master, the beginning, we will now show you the actual truth. Dr. Eggman.
What do you want now, Romulus?
Broadcast the brainwashing footage that you and Lamia collaborated on. Now.
All right. Geez, this is what I get for funding Upstarters. I'm now reduced to playing second fiddle.
Finally, everyone could see my masterpiece. I wish I could, but even GUN still uses these wall phones in their prisons for some reason.
Let's just get this enslavement business over with. There's only so much of this heroes nonsense that I can handle.
There! Broadcasting in 3, 2, 1.
Huh? What happened?
It must be a glitch in the system. I did install this the other day with all of you constantly breathing down my neck after all. I'll start it up again.
Is there a problem, Doctor?
This doesn't appear to be a glitch. It seems as if someone else is now hacking us.
Just our luck.
What? Eggman, stop this interloper at once! I demand it!
I can't! Whoever's doing this seems to be one step ahead.
This is the work of that annoying Hedgehog syndicate again. I'm going to severely injure anyone who comes within my swinging range.
Well, this was fun while it lasted. Sayonara.
No, wait, this can't be how my debut ends. Children, if you're watching this, ask your parents where babies come from.
Hello, viewers. This is the Hedgehog Syndicate speaking. We apologize for the inconvenience you may have just experienced at the hands of the Order of Genesis. We were recently alerted to their sudden spikes in activity during this event that was orchestrated by one of our members. But we have just taken action and blocked them out of the system. We remain committed to fighting against this terrorist organization, and this is especially the case when it comes to them sabotaging our fellow members when on their own. So with that said, we once again apologize for the inconvenience. This is too stuffy for me. Do I really have to say all of this? Now, we shall return you to your original programming. Wait, there's more. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. I do not find this humorous in the slightest, Fox Boy. Also, this Counter-Strike was brought to you by Goggles.
Hopefully my call with the Hedgehog Syndicate didn't take too long. I wouldn't want my friends to worry about... Guys? Guys, where are... They must have gone looking for me. I knew I was taking too long. Well, I hope that Berri and Tumult get back soon. I'll have to handle the rest of the questions alone otherwise. Hey guys. Sorry about all the confusion right now. I'm sure it'll all work itself out eventually. In the meantime, I guess I'll answer a question or two by myself. Let's see here. Ooh, here's an interesting one from Katie Love to Sing VA. Huh, that name also sounds familiar. Anyway, Katie says, so the name Spectrum, was it inspired by a spectrum of light, spectrum of time, or a spectrum of colors like the rainbow, or was it just a name you liked? Ooh, that's a really good question. Now, let's see. I believe my name means... I actually don't know what my name is supposed to mean. Although I also don't know why puzzle pieces come to mind. I guess I just didn't really put much thought into my name. So I guess my answer will be that last part, that I just liked it. I'm pretty sure it just sounded cooler than my boring birth name, which you will never hear, by the way.
Spectrum, you're back? Where were you? Me and Berri have been looking everywhere for you.
Yeah, I'm sorry I made you guys get up. I was, in a call.
I still don't know why I couldn't find you, though. But it looks like Berri might be having some trouble there, too.
Yeah, neither of you were here when I came back just now.
I'm sure she'll realize you're back soon enough. She'll be fine.
Yeah, I hope she gets back soon. Anyway, thank you for the question, Katie.
Wait, you answered a question just now? What was it about?
Oh, I was trying to tell her what my name meant. I couldn't find any other reason, so I just said I liked it better than my real name.
Your real name? Oh, wasn't your real name?
Wait, Tumult, stop! Do you understand now, Tumult?
That's actually what doxing is?
Yes!
Oh.
So please don't tell everyone here my real name. Beyond doxing, though, I would also just be embarrassed.
I had no idea.
I know, buddy, and it's alright.
Hey, is the camera okay?
Oh, geez. Must have crashed for a second there. Our connection still seems to be good, though.
Are we able to still read questions?
Yeah, I would guess so. Let's actually see what other questions we have left. Ooh, here's another one for you, Tumult.
Oh, let me see. This one comes from SugiLeafVA. Huh, why do I know that name? He asks, do you have a favorite place, site, or food? Interesting use of that slash there.
Huh. Didn't you sort of answer this question before?
Yeah, I said that I don't have any particular favorites. I'm fascinated by the entire multiverse.
Yeah, I think this guy's looking for a more specific answer.
Well, I don't even think I should give a specific.
But you have to. The people demand it.
I just really don't want to, okay?
Oh, come on, Tumult. You can't just keep dodging this.
It's my home dimension, okay? My favorite place is where I was created. There's your answer. Are you happy now?
Oh. I'm sorry, Tumult. I wasn't thinking about...
No, you're all right, Spectrum. I honestly don't think I should have even been hiding that to begin with. Sugi, my favorite place or site is the realm Origo. The beginning created it as his homeworld, and it's also where he created me and my other Chaos Emerald spirits, along with our respective emeralds. Oh, I'm sure you would love the place. It has everything. Beautiful nature, pathways made of precious metals, constant sunny skies. It was a paradise. But ever since the beginning sealed me away, I've been unable to return, and I can only imagine what has happened to the place after all this time. That's why I've been so hesitant about talking about this before.
Again, Tumult, I'm so sorry. I had no idea.
Again, it's all right. Like you said, you didn't know.
Do you think you should take a break real quick?
Yeah, I think I should.
Take all the time you need, buddy. I want to apologize to all of you watching. I didn't expect Tumult's answer to be so sensitive. Anyways, thanks for the question, SugiLeafVA. Hopefully Berri or maybe even Tumult after his break will return soon. Huh. Speak of the devil.
I can't believe I couldn't find Specs. I know this dang house like the back of my... Oh! Specs, you're back!
Yeah, I'm back. Sorry to keep you all waiting.
No worries, buddy. You're back now. That's all we cared about. But hey, why did it take so long for you to come back, Specs?
Oh, I was, in a business call. Yeah, that's what I was doing.
All right then. If you say so, pal. Also, where's Tumult at? Surely he knows you're back here now, right?
Yeah, he knows, but, he's not in the best shape at the moment.
Huh?
He answered a question while you were still gone, and it was very touchy for him.
Oh dear. That sounds rough. I hope he's all right.
Yeah, I'm sure he'll be back soon. He just needs his space.
Yeah, that's probably for the best. Do you think we can answer a few more questions on our own before he gets back, though?
Oh yeah, I'm sure that would be fine. Let me just look for a good one. Ah, here we go. And it's another one addressed to you, Berri. Lucky you.
Oh, sweet! Let me see. This one is sent by AniDoodlez.
Why does everyone's name sound so familiar to me today?
She asks, to Berri, when you and Vanilla were kids, has she ever pranked you? Ooh, this really is a good one.
What do you mean by that?
To answer your question, Annie, no. My sister didn't really prank me when we were younger. I think I mentioned it before, but she would always tease me about being younger than her. Still, that never turned into pranks at any point.
Whew, okay, that's good. I thought we were gonna bring up something else.
However...
Oh gosh, dang it.
I definitely pulled a lot of pranks on other people when I was still a youngin', particularly on someone here right now.
Can we please not talk about this?
Whenever I would visit your house when we were kids, Specs, me and your sister Audrey would prank you all the time. There was one prank I remember fondly, though. Do you know what I'm talking about, Specs?
Berri, I really don't want to talk about...
You were reading a book at the time, drinking your little glass of chaos cola, when me and Audrey snuck up behind you and stealthily switched your glass with one full of mud water. We quickly ran away, but I can still imagine you freaking out when you tasted that mud, 'cause I could hear you get so mad as we ran down the hall. You knew we did, and you tried looking for us, but we hid ourselves so well that you didn't find us at all that whole day. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh boy. Me and Audrey were laughing our bottoms off for days.
I'm happy that you're finding so much amusement at my expense.
Oh, I'm sorry, buddy. I thought it would be a funny story to share with everyone.
Yeah, it was real funny.
I can't help it. Oh, don't worry, Specs. It's all in good fun. I'm sure you'll get over it.
Sure I will.
What's going on in here? What are we laughing about?
Oh, Tumult, you're back. Hey, are you feeling any better? I heard about what happened.
Yeah, I just needed some time to collect my thoughts. I'm doing much better now, though, don't worry.
I'm glad to hear it.
Hey, is Spectrum okay?
Oh, he's still pouty about my answer to another question just now. It was an embarrassing story.
Yeah, that makes sense.
He'll get over it soon. Anyway, thanks for the question, AniDoodlez.
But hey, we're all in the same room again. We can finally get back to answering questions normally.
You bet. I can't wait. Hey, Specs, you feeling any better?
Yeah, I'm getting over it. Why, are you guys ready to answer some more questions now?
Heck yeah, buddy.
Yeah, I think I'm ready for more.
All right then, let's get back into it. Here we go. Here's another one from Kannatherage.
Hey again, Kana.
Kana asks, to all of them, do you ever get beyond stressed out?
Wait, what? Seriously?
Yeah, didn't we freak out a bunch of times here already?
Yeah, people just really seem to like us suffering, I guess. But, yeah, Kana, we stress out quite a few times. After all, if you think about it, we're still just kids.
Yeah, kids that are around 20 years old, with one spirit guy who is as old as time itself, who fight all kinds of supervillains and travel across other dimensions together all the time.
True.
Still, there were only a few times where we were really overwhelmed with stress, and even those moments were rare when looking back now. For me, I was definitely really stressed out during the war, before I met Sonic.
I would say that I was super stressed out when Cream was lobotomized. I mean, I kept it all bottled up at first, but after Specs rescued me, I couldn't keep it in no more, and I just let it all out at once. After that, I still had some lingering stress up till we got her back.
Oh, geez, I had no idea you felt that way, Berri. You were always so good at hiding your emotions for other people's sakes.
Yeah.
Well, thank goodness my niece is back to normal now then.
Indeed. How about you, Tumult?
Oh, well, one moment where I was really stressed out was when I was locked away in my emerald. I tried to escape at first, but I soon came to realize I couldn't. And all I was left with were the worries of what might be happening to my home dimension, as well as to the rest of the multiverse, while I was gone for eons. That was completely agonizing.
Wow. We've just been little rays of sunshine all day, haven't we?
Yeah. Let's not pick any more questions asking about our traumas again.
Oh, yeah, that would make sense.
So yeah, Kana, we have indeed been beyond stressed out before. Thanks for the question, I guess.
I guess I can pick this next one then. Eeny, meeny. Here we go. HalloweenHackerVA asks,
What is you? Please! No!
Holy cow! Could you possibly shout that any louder?
Sorry.
Jeez, my ears are ringing now.
Anyways, this is too simple of a question. The answer is pretty obvious.
Exactly, but I think we can still answer it anyways. HalloweenHackerVA, 2 plus 2 equals...
Pi.
What?
2 plus 2 equals pi.
What? No, that's not...
Really? I thought the answer was square.
No, the answer is pi. What do you even mean by just square?
Why, it means you're hip. You know, like in that one Hugh Lewis song. It's to be a renegade. Take the punishment. You might think I'm crazy, but I don't even care, 'cause I can tell what's going on. It's up to be square, yeah! So I guess you guys don't know the song.
You are so mid-80s.
Guys?
Besides, wouldn't you normally say that being square is bad?
Never mind that. The point is that square is the answer.
No, it's pi.
Guys!
Do you even like pie, Specs?
No, do you?
Why, of course I do. I was practically raised with pie back on my ranch.
Guys!
Why does it matter that I don't like pie, though? That's still the answer.
No, it's square. Who cares if that sounds cheesy?
I care. I don't want to cringe my guts out right now.
Am I losing my mind? What are you doing? What's so funny?
Oh, Tummy, we're just messing with ya.
Wait, what?
Yeah, the answer is really 4, obviously.
We're not like those yaks who make up their own reality, sweetie.
Oh, but why? You guys know that I'm very particular with the truth because of my background.
Yeah, that's why it's so funny.
We didn't mean anything by it, Tumult, so don't worry. Besides, we also wanted to make answering this question more entertaining, since the answer would have been too short anyway.
Oh. Well, I guess that's fair.
Yeah, but we're still sorry, buddy.
No, it's okay, guys. I get it now. However, I agree that Berri's song choice is not good at all.
Yeah, Berri, that was just pure cringe.
Aw, man.
So yeah, 2 plus 2 equals 4. Thanks for the question, HalloweenHackerVA. Alright guys, I think I got one more answer left in me. What do you two say about this being our last question?
Yeah, it might as well be. It's almost time for Cream to hit the hay, and I want to see her off.
Yeah, Spectrum. I don't see why not.
Okay then, let's see if we can get a good question for this. This one looks interesting. It's from Katie Love to Sing VA again, and it's addressed to you, Tumult.
Oh, really? Sick. Let me see. All right. Katie asks, since you're a spirit guardian, do you have ghostly powers?
Ooh, that is a good one.
Yeah, I don't think a lot of people understand how your powers work.
Yeah, I mean, my chaos control is a bit of a no-brainer because of my connection to the emeralds, and my control over fire is a little more obvious. But I guess I can also imagine why people don't know about my other abilities.
Heck, even I don't understand you fully.
Right. What? Wait, you don't understand me or you don't understand my powers?
Let's not try to go off the rails here, guys. So in that case, Tumult, what else can you do?
Oh, well, I can fly. And since I'm the power-type member of this group, I have strength.
Still doesn't make any sense when I do the heavy lifting.
I can change my density to either become unbreakable or pass through solid objects.
Oh, actually, he can also change his density to magnify any blasts that pass through him, too. It's a special technique we've come up with.
Oh yeah, I believe we called it... Prism Focus!
All right, guys, we get it. It's cool. Just don't burst my flappy ears open when you shout it.
Oh, right. Sorry.
That's our bad. But I also have super speed, and I can also shapeshift.
Doesn't that allow you to change your size, too?
Oh, yeah, it does.
Okay, so you can pass through stuff. You can shapeshift. Huh. I certainly was hoping for more than just those.
What do you mean?
Well, I mean, what about possession? Ghosts can possess people, so can you do that too?
Oh, well, I mean, I've never tried. Besides, I don't think I would want to.
Oh, why not?
Well, I mean, it just seems wrong. Messing with people's souls and stuff?
Oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. But to make you feel better, Berri, and I think I said this before too, but I'm sure that I haven't even figured out everything I can do with the emeralds yet. So there might be a chance I'll gain more powers in the future.
Ooh, how exciting! I can't wait, Tommy!
Honestly, I can't wait either. We can always use more firepower against the Order of Genesis or any other powerful villains we may come up against.
Oh, well then. I guess I'll just have to keep working on that.
Heck yeah, yeah!
Good on you, Tumult. Anyways, thanks for asking our last question of the night, Katie Love to Sane VA. Phew, we finally made it to the end, team. We completed our first ever Q&A.
Hoo-wee! This was such a hollering good time. I actually had more fun than I thought I would.
Except for the parts where we didn't have fun.
Yeah, I would prefer not to remember those moments from today.
Seconded.
Third, Ed?
Besides the obviously rough points, this was still a blast. Thank you, everyone, for giving us such great questions. And thank you, Berri's family, for letting us do this in your home.
I'm sure Vanny and Cream were happy to help, guys. And yeah, y'all were extremely thoughtful with your questions. It was an honor to answer them.
Ditto. It was really fun getting to tell you all more about myself. I would definitely like to do this Q&A stuff again sometime.
Nah, as much fun as this was, it isn't enough for me to want to do it again.
Yeah, I would also prefer not to get so emotional and vulnerable in front of so many people again for a long while.
Okay, yeah, that's all fair.
Still, I'm sure people are gonna get more of us soon, one way or another.
I definitely can't wait for that.
Yeah, I'm also down for some more action.
Same. But yeah, thank you all so much for sending us your questions. We had so much fun answering them. We're unfortunately going to have to go now, but we hope to see you guys again soon. In the meantime, check out my social medias at @Spectrum_rookie.
Oh, and be sure to also check me out at Berri and Family.
Wait, what? Why do you guys have social media pages and not me?
Because you still don't know your way around the whole dang internet yet, silly.
Oh yeah, that's fair.
Anyway, until next time, this is Team Spectrum, signing off.
Goodbye, y'all. Yeah!
Woohoo! Bye, guys!
Is that another question? I figured everyone knows we're done now.
Yeah, that's weird. ChaosControl VA says, how did you get into my channel?
ChaosControl VA?
Wait, isn't that the channel we're borrowing?
Yeah, so I don't know how he's even... Oh. Finally, I have control of my channel again. Beating hackers is so satisfying. What?
Show the world what we can do. You are next to me and I'm next to you. Pushing on through until the battle